You got to understand, from 17, I basically came out of prison 28. These youths, they shouldn't even be on the streets now. You got social media, yeah. You got opportunity. We didn't have no opportunity really. He went through his own traumas, innit? He will never. I don't think he'll speak about it. And unfortunately, he's not in a good position now. But I feel like with him, the UK gossip, like these people, like, do you know what I mean? They're meant to be your own people, but they'll wait for your downfall and then they'll like, bam, like, we've got you. So for me, it's like, I will never forgive them, just me as a person, because I feel like...
PPF, Bouncer, thank you for joining me today.
How you doing, my bro?
I'm good. I'm all good. So if you can, just introduce yourself, who you are and what you do now.
My name is Bouncer. I'll say I'm an entrepreneur on the boxing platform, energy drink. I'm in the music industry. Just made my return after 3.5 years. I'm in the finance world. Yeah, so obviously I live in Dubai. Yeah, I feel like I'm an entrepreneur, yeah.
Now, if we're going to get your story, what I would do is I don't start at the beginning, I go a little bit before the beginning. So if you can, describe your parents and who they were, what they were doing around the time of having you.
That's kind of a hard one, you know. Obviously, born in South London. My dad's always been involved in property. My mum's always been involved in property. So both parents was involved in property.
And at that time, obviously you weren't conscious to know really what was going on at that specific time, but selling property, construction, what?
Yeah, my dad used to buy, sell property from then till now.
Okay.
And
so entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my mum, like she was more in the space of like councils, working in the councils, properties and all of that. You know, that sort of, yeah. So she was always in property.
Okay. So as a young kid, did that feel like something you wanted to get into? It obviously felt real because people always know that property is good.
Yeah.
But if you haven't had someone close to you in the game, it kind of feels like a little bit difficult or a little bit, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, of course.
But for you, did it ever feel like something you'd get into? Because both of your parents being into it, like, there must have been a lot of influence with it.
I did grow up and be like, I did want to be an architect, but I did grow up and said, oh yeah, something I want to get into property. That was naturally like, I knew I was going to get into property. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I knew that everyone knows that making the right investment for buying property can be very good investments and can be not good investments, like the returns, depending on what you invest.
So if you can just describe your childhood home growing up. So location, like the building itself, who was in the house, who wasn't in the house. Yeah,
I'll go through. Do you know what it is? I don't want the people. They can't get everything from me. I'll be real with you. You get me? The people they can get a bit, but I don't want these people. The social media, they can't get everything from me. Okay. I'll be honest. You get me?
Why is that? Why is that?
I just feel like there needs to be an element of privacy, and I feel like see with people, it's like your downfall or whatever goes on in your household, they want to use that. And they think that they can get familiar with you, and then out of nowhere, when you're doing well or you're doing things, you don't even know these people, but they will mention these things, like to say, like it's an L on you. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, because I've made someone aware of certain things, it's like this is what happens on the internet. So I just feel like these people. Big love to the ones that support me and the ones that don't support me, but I feel like there needs to be an element of you don't know deep down who Miles is. You just know that person that says you're my people, or do you know what I mean? To an element, but you will know the person is genuine, innit? Like I don't try to put a character on in terms of just how I am, but like I said, I was brought up in Gypsy Hill, so that's in South London, and it was an estate, so it was a bit rough.
So if you had to describe that environment for someone who isn't from London or isn't even from, how would you describe that to someone who's like an alien or who doesn't get it?
It's the hood, isn't it? You know what I mean? There's drug addicts everywhere. Do you know? Is estates. There's things happening there. So when you're growing up, living on the estate, it's just them things are like, you see them things like normal, innit? Yeah.
So you said in a different interview,
yeah,
that at some point your dad was a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
Is this something that happened later on in life? Was it when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Or what?
Yeah, my dad's still a multi-millionaire.
Yeah. And but even from a kid he was?
From
when you were a kid, I mean.
From when I was a kid. Okay. Remember, you see property, buying property in West or wherever, properties, there was not like the prices that they are now. You know what I mean? So investing in property, sometimes you get in property for 30K, 40K, 10, 15, 20 years later, your property is worth 300-400K because you invested in there. So like I said, my dad was in property and he used to always buy big houses, turn them into free flats, and I used to always be that person that used to help knock down the walls. Okay. So I was born to help my dad. Like every single venture, I was there.
He was involved.
I was involved, and it wasn't as hard then. So, yeah.
And at that time, did you feel, okay, I'm talking like late primary school, early secondary school, did you feel or actively know my dad is a millionaire? Because, and the reason I ask it is because that is, how do you say, different environments and different factors make for a different mindset. I'm just wondering your mindset at that time.
No, I didn't. I didn't sink in and think, oh yeah, my dad's a millionaire. Just knew that my dad, he might own like, there was at times he might have like 10, 15 properties that he was starting ventures on. But I'm a kid.
Of course.
I'm just going in there flipping some properties. I'm flipping having to take the wallpaper down. Do you know what I mean? So it was just exciting for me. I get paid afterwards. Some school money. That's it. Yeah.
So secondary school. By secondary school, you went to a school with a lot of other notable people.
Yeah.
Right. From the top of your head, ring off as many notable people who went to your school.
I got a bad memory, but I will ring off. Obviously, Krept was a year below me. Stormzy was like 3 or 4 years below me. There's many other people that went to study tech, but my head is because shortly after I just went to jail, innit? So it's like a lot.
But it's interesting. I always find it interesting when I hear of someone who went to either a specific school or worked in a specific place where like a lot of notable people come out of it, because it's like there's something powerful. There's a level of I don't know what it is. There's a mindset or there's an ambition or a talent that.
Croydon and Fulton Heath. A lot of people came out of Konan and Fulton Heath, like a lot of successful people that people see now, from the Brit School to wherever. Like there's a lot of successful people.
So you mentioned it, going to jail.
Yeah.
You've done around 10 years.
Around
correct?
10 years, yeah.
Within 3, I think it was 3 sentences, but 10 years in total.
Yeah.
The first big sentence you did, how old were you when you got the first big sentence?
17.
17, so still a teenager.
Yeah.
And what led up to that sentence?
Area, being involved in the wrong crowd, still my friends, but just the area.
And age as well.
Age, surviving. Maybe when I was younger, I got bullied a bit, so...
Okay, primary school.
Primary school, just before secondary school, just that bit there. maybe year 5, year 6, I got bullied a bit. Okay. So I think from then, from year 7, it was like going to an all-boys school. Yeah, you're made to believe that this all-boys school, this is a rough school, so you got to be tough if anyone approaches you. Everyone's got older brothers and I don't have no older brothers.
So it's survival mode, basically.
Survival mode, that's how I'm thinking.
If you're saying, I know people throw the word trauma around a lot, but being bullied in some capacity creates something, or I can't explain it, but there's always a reaction to something like that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Would you say that that was the biggest factor? Because if you look at, people say about people not having dads around or not being financially stable as a reason as to why people might go down a specific path, right?
Yeah.
Technically, on paper, financially, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs, but financially, you may have been pretty all right.
Yeah.
And you seem to have had a good relationship with your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you put what other factors would you put into why you went down the path? Okay, you've said the area.
Yeah.
Potentially a bit of bullying. Yeah. Anything else that created the mindset that led you down that path?
Obviously, of course, I've got a good relationship with my dad, innit? My mum and dad's not together, so it's not like my dad was always abroad working. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So my mum is a single mum, so that's just what it was. I had a great relationship with my dad, but my mum's a single mum, so it was just me and my mum at home.
Got you. Okay, that makes not more sense, but that is the broader picture, right? Yeah. So, going to jail at the age of 17, what was your mindset going into the jail? You're in court, you're being told, okay, however many years that you're going to get. It's a mad thing to say, but obviously some people are excited, some people are scared, some people are whatever it is. What was your mindset on the bus going?
The first time, I was excited that this was part of it. You know what I'm trying to say? This was part of it. So I was excited and I was in jail. Then reality hit. But yeah, I didn't take life serious at 17, no.
At some point, something changed and changes within people, but changed where from a kid, the thought of going to jail at a young age is obviously, people don't want to go and there would be no excitement. If you could you pinpoint exactly what age you would have gone from maybe being scared or not wanting to go to jail to being excited to go to jail?
Obviously from 16, 17, they're the times that you're excited to go to jail. You're not really taking life serious. It's just...
So, but you would say maybe around 16 was the age, yeah?
Yeah. And then I think, obviously when you're getting on, innit? When you're getting on and you've kind of trapped in the system, doing the exact same things, going back to prison, crimes getting worse or getting longer years, then you started realizing, oh, yeah, I'm stuck here. I can't even get out of it. So, yeah.
At what age would you say that you were at your peak of the life that you're describing?
I don't know, because it was always, you got to understand, from 17, I basically came out of prison 28. So that I done 14 months out, but I came out of prison 28. So peak is in prison as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even just out. It's in prison as well. It's being involved in gangs, it's having fights, is everything. It's just everything as a whole. But I couldn't really say.
No, it makes sense because of how you've just described it. It makes sense because, as you said, I mean, 17 people are still young. You're not like a kid, but you are young at 17. And if you're saying it from 17-ish until 28, then yeah. Now, Pete, I've heard someone say before that if someone, for example, went into jail at 17 years old and came out at 28, mentally, and even emotionally, a person can only evolve so much because you're not in normal society, and it's a traumatic experience. And I've heard people say that if someone goes in at 17 and comes out at 28, mentally they're still 17 when they come out. Would you agree with that or not?
No, I don't agree with that. But yeah, I agree with it to a certain extent. Like, I don't think it's everyone.
Okay, so it depends. It's case to case.
I think people grow up in jail, but I think that, yeah, cool, we don't know how to use online banking. Like, cool, we don't know how to do what is contactless. Yeah, okay.
But when it comes to like human interaction, you've been still interacting with people and kind of
but they are right. They are right. I don't think when I came out, I did act like a 17-year-old.
Got you.
So,
but did you act like a 17-year-old before you even went in?
No, not really. I always acted older than I was, but I think just maybe communication skills, like things like that, having conversations, relationships, being in certain predicaments, do you know what I mean? Regarding relationships, they're the things that do you realize, okay, I could have dealt with that a bit better. And that's where you blame it on prison, because it's like prison, this is the stuff that I don't have experience in. So,
would you say that you found jail easy?
I don't think mentally. You have to have a strong mind. There's people that come out of prison and they got mental health. They're in a bad way. You can see it. It's done them. So I don't think that prison inside is the actual. It's easy inside. Like, it's not hard. It's not like you're flipping in the army and you're getting woken up and they're shouting you in your face and you're doing. You know what I mean? It's not as bad as what people think. So
would you say that being in jail is easier? Obviously, I don't know if you've been to the army, but would you say that being in jail is easier than being in the army?
Well, being in jail is easier than doing CrossFit training.
Okay, so physically it's easier than...
I think, I feel like if there was some form of discipline that way, I think more people wouldn't go back to jail, because they'll have that resonant discipline from
100%.
From get up, that whole physical get up and do it, discipline, and as you said, getting stuff done. You said on a different platform, the block, going to the block, which is segregation. Or no, what is it? Wow, segregation. Okay, what's the longest time you spent in the block? I think I spent like a month in the block.
Yeah. Okay, now describe the block. What is the block?
Oh, the block is like some blocks, but the block is like you just have a bed, but your beds are always wooden, innit? So you just get a thin little mattress, hard pillow.
Interaction with other people?
No interaction with other people. No TV. Not really. You can get a radio. You can get books.
Okay.
Books is your thing, and that's all you got.
Yeah.
It's shouting out the window.
Mentally.
Yeah.
For someone to be isolated from humanity for a month, that's not easy.
No,
people adjust and get used to their environments, but out here people can't live 10 seconds without their phone.
Look
right?
At COVID.
Yeah, exactly, and kind of what that does to people.
Yeah.
At the time of you, okay, it's been 3 months, it's been 3 weeks, and you've been in the block.
Yeah.
No TV, no this, no that. What was your mental like? What were you?
Oh, I got on my deen. I prayed all my prayers. Do you know what I mean? I prayed all of them. Sunnah, Fard, Witr prayer. Like, I had to pray. I had a routine. Do you know what I mean? So I work out, go to sleep. Do this same thing. Go to sleep. Read a book. I was dyslexic, so I didn't really used to read books. But
when you've got nothing else, I guess you kind of.
But I learned how to be kind of. Like, someone said to me yesterday, I'm always thinking. I always look like I'm deep in thoughts. Maybe that's from being in segregation. I had to always cope in my head, or being in prison, that I had to be deep in thoughts to keep me sane. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And, okay, now describing, how do you say it, having the deen while you're in there, kind of, I can understand how a person would kind of get through it with that.
Yeah.
Someone who hasn't got that, you can see that how it
Yeah,
affects
yeah.
a person, right? But that's a blessing, definitely. Now, people nowadays especially throw around PTSD a lot.
Yeah.
Would you say from 10 years that you suffer with PTSD?
Yeah.
Or
of
have
course.
suffered with PTSD?
Yeah.
And I'm sure everyone's PTSD is different, but how would you describe your PTSD? What does it look like on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? And I'm sure how long have you been out?
6 years.
Okay. Has it gotten better over the 6 years?
I don't think it's gotten better. My anxiety hasn't got better. I'll tell you that from now. That's flipping.
And would you say that that's a direct result from jail, the anxiety?
I didn't know what anxiety was until, I think what caused anxiety, I think, was social media.
Really, yeah?
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
I think what caused anxiety was social media for me, yeah.
Okay, but as far as PTSD, so I've heard people describe PTSD as in different ways. Some people say it's flashbacks. Some people say it's not being able to sleep, panic attacks, hot sweats. What have you dealt with PTSD?
Yeah, I've had all of that. Not panic attack from PTSD, but every single day I think about prison. Do you know what I mean? Really? Yeah. Before, when I didn't think about prison, I ended up going back to prison. So in my head, I said to myself, I'm going to think about prison every single day, something that I don't want to go back to. So, but yeah, when you're sleeping, PTSD, just little things, do you know what I mean? When you, even when being around certain people that's been to prison, and that it's like, you just try to, you know? So I don't think my PTSD is as bad. It's not like bad, but my anxiety is bad. So it's just a weird one. So
now, at some point throughout the period you were in prison, there was a mindset change.
Yeah.
From what I have seen, it is your daughter being born, or was it your daughter being ill, or was it both, or is it?
I don't want to talk about the illness.
No problem. Okay.
That's the ones that these people want to try to use.
Got you. That's fair. I'd seen it on other things, which is why I asked it. But if you don't talk about it, that's cool.
But yeah, you can talk about my daughter. But yeah.
Okay. But so just talk then about the mindset change.
Yeah, I think the mindset changes. I remember obviously my daughter being born. The first time I saw my daughter, I was on closed visits.
Mad.
Like I got caught with a phone, fighting. Closed visits, first time I see my daughter. So I think from then it was just like, enough's enough. And that's when I got sentenced to 11 years then. So I had like 5.5 years till I see my daughter.
Do you remember that feeling of a mindset change? Or was it gradual? Or
No, I remember that feeling of a mindset change where it was like, yeah, it's done, man. After this sentence, it done me. It done me.
And was it like, how would you describe that feeling? Was it relief? Did you have any resentment towards anything? Did you have, I'm sure there was a level of regret, but how could you describe that feeling?
It was just like, I just let myself, it's like, I just felt like I just kept on going around and around in a circle. But I feel like God was protecting me, man. I don't regret all the years that I spent. I feel like God was protecting me and everything happened for a reason. Because I may not be sitting
if you were
here
outside,
if I was outside.
100%. And at what point in your sentence did the mindset change happen?
Maybe like 18 months in.
So you still had another 3 and a bit left?
Yeah.
And was the last 3 years with the mindset change harder, I'm assuming, than every other year that you'd done where you were kind of mentally in it?
No, it was...
Or it didn't change? It was...
Nah, it was fine.
Just get through it?
Yeah, just get through it. Cause in prison, I was never like a troublemaker anyway. So... yeah, I was respected in terms of like, no one ain't. I didn't have issues like that. at the start of my one of my sentences, there was a lot of gang issues, but yeah, that's why I ended up going to the block, fighting. But I think from my rapport, like, when from the streets going to prison, I wasn't a victim. So I just kept my head down, man. Kept my head down, trying to do the courses and trying to like see if I can get to open prison. Yeah.
Now, you did a lot of years in 3 sentences.
Yeah.
Although there was like 2 smaller ones and 1 bigger one, right?
Yeah.
Or like wherever it was, yeah?
Yeah, two similar ones and 1 big one.
Yeah. So to someone who is of a younger age and ending up with the potential that you've got, because clearly after, I don't know what was going on at the time, but after you've done a lot, right? So clearly there was always potential there. To someone who has got potential, what was a major thing that could have happened that could have changed your path for the better at an earlier stage? Or was there nothing? Do you feel like all of these factors and things that had happened, it was inevitable?
No, I don't think it was inevitable. Listen to my mum, you know what I mean? Listen to my mum, listen to my dad. Moved out of the area. There's all these factors.
Okay, so it is not possible, but you believe that anyone who's going into that situation now, there are legitimate things that a person can do.
Now, listen, I'll be honest with you. These youths, they shouldn't even be on the streets now. You got social media, yeah. You got
opportunity,
people,
right?
You got opportunity. We didn't have no opportunity really. You think we had social media? What did we have? We just about had a youth club. Yeah, when we're walking down the road, the police are just running up to us, like doing whatever they're doing with us. They shouldn't be no younger generation. Like, I understand, yeah, they're selling drugs, cool, I get it. I understand it. They're trying to make money.
Yeah, they're trying to financially be stable, basically. It's survival.
It's survival, isn't it? But, yeah, social media, you can flip in. We're making a YouTube, we're doing a podcast right now to release it on YouTube. Yeah, I've got a YouTube channel, yeah, that all I do is reactions. I don't even promote it, and it gets thousands of views because of the right caption and that. Come on, guys. There's no excuse.
I think it's the funny thing is that social media is a double-edged sword though, because I think that sometimes the social media is what can also
100%.
You know what I'm trying to say?
You see your idol, you see like
people
rappers
who
and they have £250,000 watches and etc. So you want to be like that, and then you want to chase it. So you end up doing crime to fit that image. And then you see, obviously, you got beautiful women on there. Some of them they get their body done. So the women, same thing, innit? So yeah.
Okay, so having left prison, what was your first business venture having left prison?
My first business venture was to be during prison and leaving. I was in open jail. I started it. It was events management. So I wanted to be an events manager. I wanted to be a manager.
Music artist manager.
Music artist manager. Okay. But before that, I became an events manager because obviously no one didn't want me to be a music manager. They did. I didn't have the credentials. Yeah.
Okay, and financially, was the events successful?
No.
How long did you do that for?
2 years.
Okay, but I'm assuming that you learned a lot.
I learned a lot,
and I guess what you learned was worth more than any financial.
100%.
And they say that actually, if a person wins on their first or second attempt at something, when they do the third one and it crumbles, they're lost because they haven't learned the things that you need to keep going.
Yeah.
So after that, it was artist management.
After that, it was artist management. Yeah.
And was DigDat the first artist that you managed?
Yeah, he was the first artist that I managed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long were you managing him for?
maybe like 18 months.
Okay. The story is pretty well documented in general, so we don't really need to go into too much detail.
Yeah.
But within that 18 months, how much money was generated?
Oh, over $1 million. Over $1 million. Over £1 million was generated in 18 months. Over $1 million.
And what would you say? Was it just you two working quite closely, or was there anyone else within the team who was a core, like part of the core team?
No, it was just us two working closely, but there was people around.
Always. So
it's always the whispers, isn't it? It just happens, isn't it?
So what would you say, looking at that 18 months, and £1 million is a lot of money to be generated for someone who had a bit of he had a bit of something before, but what it was before and after you was obviously very different.
No, see, with him, he was DigDat. He done 5 years in prison as well.
Okay.
He went to jail when he was 13.
Mad.
And he came out 18 and he got into music. So it's like...
And how much after that did you start working with him?
I was the first track that he ever released.
Okay.
From then, I did. Listen, music, there was no pressure on us to do what we needed to do. There's pressure on all the music artists now because they put pressure on themselves. But we just enjoyed it. I didn't know what drill music was. When his brother was saying, oh, he's a drill artist, I don't know what drill music was. It was DigDat used to educate me of like who's the hot artists on the scene. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But I didn't know what drill was.
And what would you say was your major strength within that 18 months? What was it that you brought to the table that helped that helped you generate such a...
Infrastructure, investment, marketing.
Okay.
All he had to do is focus on his talent.
Got you.
That was it. Just focus on your talent, I'll do the rest.
And when you say infrastructure, break down infrastructure. In what way?
Infrastructure, making sure... So infrastructure was mapping out the tracks that he had, like just positioning them, looking at the tracks, which one's the strongest,
how to roll it out,
get the right features, when to do what, invest in the right things, just making sure that he had a good team around him, infrastructure in terms of how he looked, branding's key, and making sure that he had a good home, somewhere to sleep. It was patterned.
Yeah, because I think with creatives, as you said, all he had to do was make music. Sometimes that's all they're good at. And he might be good at other stuff, I don't know. But the point is...
He went through his own traumas, isn't it? He would never... I don't think he would speak about it. And unfortunately, he's not in a good position now. But I feel like with him, he went through a lot of mad traumas. Maybe as he gets older, he will speak about it one day. So, yeah, man.
Obviously, you guys parted how you parted.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest thing you learned from that 18-month experience? The one thing that you would hold on to, or the one thing that you would like...
Time. Time is everything. See, my time now, listen, my time is valuable. So time is everything. So I felt like, apart from everything, what I wasted, even though both parties parted ways, and I was very fortunate enough to document my stuff. I wasn't that guy behind the scenes because I parted ways. I'm in a great position because even though I lost it all, but I still had a brand that 100%. I could build from.
Yeah. So like, I guess financially, you didn't walk out with anything financially, but platform-wise, reputation-wise, you'd built a lot.
I built, and as time went on, a lot of people, like, see how people, a lot of people would be like, oh, you don't need him anyway. And then time goes on, you realize like, oh, actually, it's very important to have a good team. Do you know what I mean? And then that kind of same thing happened with other people, other person that I worked with. So what the answer to your question is time, because now I always have loads of people trying to get through to me or trying to reach out to me, and I weigh it up. Like, my focus is on here, but these people are trying to shadow, like trying to get in the way of it, distract me. But it's my time. But I say, yeah, it makes sense for them to give me a proposal. But if it don't make sense for both parties, what's the point of doing it?
So then after that, you managed, I don't know if there was anyone in between, but you managed Likkleman after that.
Yeah, I managed Likkleman the same time I was managing DigDat.
Okay.
So it was similar, DigDat first.
And then towards the end of...
9 months later, waited for Likkleman to come out and all of that, managed him and whatever.
I think even trying to manage Likkleman was quite not a bold move, but different, because the UK music scene has been successful for quite a long time. People have been trying to manage artists. That's a thing, right? An entertainer, because I mean, what else would you call him apart from an entertainer, right?
Yeah.
For someone to try to manage an entertainer is definitely outside of the box.
No, 100.
Right? But it was definitely a good move.
Yeah, it was. Look, like I said, I think God, man. Do you know what I mean? All praise to Allah. Like, the reason why I say that, because things just fell into place, innit? And the impact that me and Likkleman brought to the dwarf scene,
100%.
little people. Like, forget about the banter and that. The impact. Listen, I have little people that follow me up to this day. They follow me, message me. I can't believe it. Do you know what I mean? It's like another world, but I can't believe it. So it made me just feel like, even like I worked on a few projects. Like I managed the artist called Konan, but in that song, I made Likkleman and like 3 other dwarfs play like do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a storyline. But we was creating something. And I think like at that time that people started looking at, the culture started looking at dwarfs a little bit different because they've had Likkleman.
100%.
So
definitely.
Yeah.
Even for me, like you come across dwarfs is the right word. Yeah. You come across dwarfs, but Likkleman is different, man. He's different. But he is a real man. Like, and I enjoyed the boxing. I don't know if he's boxing now, but I watched every fight he's done. Yeah. And he's definitely like a star.
Yeah.
You know?
He's a star, man. He's a star, but unfortunately, I don't think he has the attitude, man. And if he's around the wrong people, yeah, man. Like he's a star, but he'll get, if we get him in America, get him over.
Do you still manage Likkleman?
No, I don't manage Likkleman. So obviously we split.
Yeah.
Same stuff happened, similar. Then we came back. We spoke about it on the podcast. And then obviously I moved to Dubai, man. I was done with everyone, to be honest, man. I just felt like I put 5.5 years of my life helping other people.
Money, time, effort.
Helping other people. And I felt like nearly everyone was just ungrateful. So that kind of affected me in a big way. So I gave myself a promise from January, December, that I was just going to work on my own branding. I flew my cameraman out here. He lives with me. Like, that's it. My cameraman, he lives with me. That's my guy. That's it. Me and my cameraman. That's what I'm trying to say. No Diddy. But yeah.
Definitely.
But I had to thank him the other day, because I was saying, look, like, I go on my YouTube, I go type in my name, and I said, you've kind of given me a brand identity.
Definitely.
Now I have a brand identity, and I had to thank him because it only took 5 months, but I'm now building a 100%. Brand identity.
And you can see it, like looking at your YouTube, for example, you can see the brand building. And I think you always had a brand since kind of DigDat. Obviously, I think that's when you were first in the limelight.
But I think I was just controversial though, brother. Like, I think I was misunderstood, because I think if you met me off camera, everyone that meets me, they're like, oh yeah, like, what? you're different. And I'm saying, but so it's like, I feel like there was always little narratives that would get pushed. If I'm doing an arms fight, I'm playing a role to sell a fight.
100%.
But they actually think I'm a horrible person. I'm not a horrible person. I'm just, do you know what I'm trying to say? Just playing a role. But now that I think Sunday Smoke did change my life from doing live boxing, because they started seeing how I was as a person. I was just a normal person. So people started liking me for me. But I think sometimes it's easy for people to push a narrative and then be like, I don't like him.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And there are people who benefit from pushing certain narratives.
Yeah, of course.
That's human
Them
nature,
blog
man.
pages, man, that's what they do. That's why they don't really post me no more. But like, you get me? They'll wait for it. But the Shea Boroughs, the UK gossips, obviously Shea Boroughs is they're alright now, but the UK gossip, like, these people, like, do you know what I mean? They're meant to be your own people, but they'll wait for your downfall and then they'll like, bam, like, we've got you. So for me, it's like, I will never forgive them, just me as a person, because I feel like when man's going through tough times, you lot, they're happy. Man's own people are happy. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So even though, like, and it's crazy because even with UK gossip, like, I'm always, like I said, I'm always a helper. They've been losing I remember when they used to use their Insta accounts, and I had a link in Insta to get their Insta accounts back. So I always would try and help. Do you know what I'm trying to say? The next, they get their thing back, they're just posting just mad, weird stuff. You just think these people, man, like, man's going through it. Like, I'm trying to adjust to the real world. I've just got out of jail and trying to adjust to things I'm not used to, flipping strangers or people that don't know me, trolling me. And then man's got these people as well that's against man. It's crazy.
Mad. So moving to Dubai, would you say kind of the bad experiences that you had is what part, like a major part of why you moved to Dubai, or?
Yeah, but I just feel like also, like, if I keep it real, like, look at the UK, man, like, who's helping each other? Get me? Everyone claimed that they're friends. No one ain't helping each other. You gotta do, like, ain't no one helping me. Only a small number of people that are behind me, and they're not on the internet. Do you know what I mean? There ain't no one helping me. Like, you think I can more time go to my friends and be like, yo, bro, I gotta do this by myself. So I thought, do you know what? My friends are my friends, and everyone's getting old. Everyone's getting older. So I've moved here to start a new life, to build up my foundation and crack on with it. I'll come back in the next 3 years. You get me? Once I've made it and I'm in a great position, and then I can go partying and put my foot up and be like, yo, what we do? Yeah, I'm having a break for 2 weeks. I probably won't, because I'll probably be working, but yeah.
Okay, now for people, a lot of people from England have been to Dubai on holiday. Yeah. Living in Dubai, working in Dubai is totally very different, right? To someone who's never even been to Dubai, let's say from England, what would you say are the major key differences between living in England, London, and living in Dubai?
If you can really set your life up here in terms of, you move here, you get paid a salary, you can wait 6 months, you can start getting a property. You don't have to wait 1, 2, how many years. There's certain things in here that there's so many things you can do, and there's so many people that you meet. I'm not saying that everyone here will tell you the real story, but there's so much. It's like, this is a work magnet on steroids. So if you're willing to learn, you will meet people from every field, and you will soak up information, and you will have contacts. You just need to go out and get it. So, and I feel like the country is it's always hot. At the moment, weirdly, you got mosquitoes here, so it's just annoying because I've got about 20 bites on me, but they just came from nowhere. But how can you be down? If you're down, you can just walk out. You can go to a beach club, yeah, and you can actually just put your laptop and work from the beach club. So I feel like the stuff that people need to know is just take your time. Everyone says that Dubai is expensive, but if you went to central London every single day, you're going to say that London is expensive. London's expensive anyway. So just pick the right places where you can go to that is affordable and that's still lovely, but you don't need to go to
live within your means.
Yes,
and enjoy it.
100%. You get me? You can walk down the beach without paying anything.
Yeah.
So
mindset wise, as you said, which I completely agree with, Dubai is almost like one big workplace, which is the setting is really nice. Obviously you've got safety and etc. all the other benefits, but it is like one big workplace. People are more, I would say, ambitious, more ready to work, ready to connect. Mindset wise, how would you say is the major difference between London and Dubai?
Mindset wise is, man, remember, I see people's mindset, like everyone who I hang around with, they probably make like 6 figures a month from whatever models, businesses that they have, and they're all in different fields.
What industries are those? Just
this e-commerce, drop shipping, OnlyFans, whatever businesses that they have, but they have loads of clients. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Events here, they're making millions of dollars for the year. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like when you're around so many entrepreneurs, it just like even if you had nothing and you're around everyone doing something, you're automatically your mindset, and you're just gonna be like, you're gonna learn something, but your mindset will be different because you're around them. Like I wake up in the morning, like gym, healthy eating is a big thing here. Is a very big thing, and I think that's part of mindset as well. Starting your morning and making sure it's right. So yeah.
And what is your day-to-day like here? What are you doing work-wise?
So yeah, I work in finance. And
9 to 5 or as an entrepreneur? Or?
As an entrepreneur, but we've got office in Business Bay. So what I mean, we have a few offices, and obviously I've just made a return back to music. So I want to take that very serious because I feel like this is the right time. Give myself. I'm a beginner at the moment with a lot of knowledge. So give me 12 months, 18 months. I'll make a massive income. I'll make a massive impact for up and coming artists. But don't worry, man. I'll be behind the scenes this time, man. You won't even know it's me. That's man. I think I feel like I don't want none of these artists getting blackballed, not getting listed because of me. So I'll be behind the scenes. You get me? I don't mind. I'll have lots of other. I'm not doing management, so I'll have lots of other managers acting. You won't even know, but it's gonna take some time. But it's exciting because what I have, if it was that easy, why aren't any artists blowing up now in music? If the labels, if it was that easy. So I feel like it's not cool to be a music manager no more. I came in the music scene when it wasn't cool, but then I became a music manager and then it was cool. But then the people and the normal people, they gave me my props because I used to get music sent to me up into this day. But all these other music managers and these people, they went on like it wasn't me that actually paved the big way, like when it comes to street people becoming music managers. But now that they're all gone, I thought, let me come back now because you lot are all gone. You think that, don't worry, man. We made influencer boxing cool in the UK. It wasn't cool before. Don't worry, we made that space cool. You lots all jumped on it. No problem. Now I'm gonna come back here. So when I do launch a boxing show, it will be a music show as well, and we've got the audience for it, and we're ready. So
100%. So would you say that's the major future plans? Any other plans to add to it, or would you say they're the two major ones?
Just to listen. Sometimes you have to pop up, and sometimes what I learned, people can respect the branding, but they just don't need to know it's you. They don't need to know it's you that is behind the branding. So I feel like when I say that, I feel like I need to speak about the obvious plans that you lot know, and you don't need to know about the other plans because you ain't getting there's no evil eye getting towards them plans. You can look at them plans, and them plans, there's no pressure because I've got a boxing division and loads of the boxers, man's been helping them, and now they've got 400k followers and they're waiting for me to put on an event. Do you know what I mean? We've got all these up and coming artists, so it's not hard to set up the live streams. And we've got Sunday Smoke, where we had up to 150,000 people on Instagram look into live streams. So we have a community of millions of people just waiting to support. I'm not saying they need to spend money, but they're just here to support with eyes. So
which is everything, because the attention, attention is everything, right?
Everything.
And definitely that's the most important thing now.
Yeah, man. But there's gonna be a lot of, like, I think one thing I'll be excited, I'm gonna smile, is there's gonna be a lot of opportunity just for people, man, that just need the opportunity, the artists,
music-wise, boxing-wise.
I think that platform, we're gonna design it for the people, so the people will be empowered. Do you know what I mean? For that, the platform. That's how I'm gonna kind of create it, where the people have a say of the boxing platform and the music platform. So yeah.
Bouncer, thank you very much, bro. Much appreciated.
Man. Yeah, man. Big love, my brother. Thank you for having me.